Let's get more on this. I'm joined by Chris Gunness, who's a spokesman for the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestinian refugees there. Many thanks for joining us, Chris. Tell us, why has it been such a struggle to rebuild homes in Gaza? Chris Gunness, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Thank you very much.
That's great news, Chris. Let me ask you again. Tell me, why has it been such a challenge to rebuild homes in Gaza?
Well, the slowness is because of various reasons. First of all, there is a mechanism called the Gaza Reconstruction Mechanism, which UNRWA was not part of creating. The organization I work for, we're a humanitarian organization, and we're really not responsible for its functioning, but it's functioning far too slowly. And as you heard in Nicole Johnson's excellent report, people are living in the ruins of their houses. 18 months on, we've been able to rebuild just 10 totally reconstructed houses. And you heard that businessman in Nicole's report. There are people with a true entrepreneurial spirit who want to get on with their lives, who want to rebuild, and they just can't because the materials are not coming into Gaza. Let me give you one very good example. Israel has put wood on the list of dual function materials. That means it's very difficult to get wood into Gaza. Now, I don't know whether you ever tried to rebuild anything, but rebuilding a home without wood is extremely challenging. And that is why we say that this Gaza reconstruction mechanism is not an excuse for not lifting the blockade. The blockade must be fully lifted. It is an illegal collective punishment. You cannot punish someone for a crime they have not committed. It's illegal under international law, which is why we say the blockade needs to end.
What about this UN brokered deal to allow building materials in? Has that not been effective?
Well, clearly not. I mean, you've seen how many houses remain unreconstructed. Gaza, Shujaiya, which is one of the places which Nicole visited in her report, looks like an earthquake struck it yesterday. And this is 18 months since the conflict, which is why we say this situation is completely unacceptable. Women, children, the elderly, the sick, the disabled, the dying, they're all living in circumstances which are completely unacceptable. UNRWA, the organization for which I work, the humanitarian wing of the UN working on the ground in Gaza, created a $720 million initiative to reconstruct Gaza. Now, we've received, thanks to the generosity of many of our donors, funds for that, but it does remain half funded. So in part, there's an issue of funding, but it's a very small part. What we need to do is lift the blockade. We've only been able to get in, as the international community, about 10% of what we need to get in, and that needs to get to 100%.
So how do we go about doing that? What are you calling for from the international community? Chris, can you hear me? I think we may have lost Chris Gunness. He was joining us there from London, but we get a sense of what he was saying there. The challenges of rebuilding in Gaza still immense.